Here's a great fairy tale I remember listening to many times before on audio tape. Sense and Nonsense, The Ugly Duckling, where this ugly duckling is picked on by almost everybody who meets him, until a miraculous thing happens. You want to know what that miraculous thing is? Listen and find out as I read the story of The Ugly Duckling. Once there was a duck who had just hatched a brood of ducklings. One of them had been longer coming out of the shell than the others, and when it came, it was very ugly, but its mother did not love it less on that account. Mothers never think their little ones ugly. It could swim very well, so she knew it was not a young turkey as an old duck had said it might be. And she took it with all the rest of the brood to the farmyard to introduce it into good society. An old turkey, who was very grand, came up to the duck and said, "You children are all pretty, except one. There is one ugly duckling. I wish you could improve him a little."
"That is impossible, Your Grace,"
replied the mother.
"He is not pretty, but he has a good disposition, and swims even better than the others."
"Well, the other ducklings are graceful enough," said the turkey. "Pray make yourselves at home here." But how could the ugly duckling do so? The whole farmyard laughed at him. The ducks pecked him, the fowls beat him, the girl who fed the poultry drove him away with a stick. The poor duckling flew over the palings and joined some wild ducks who lived on the moor.
"You are very ugly,"
said the wild ducks.
"but that will not matter if you do not want to marry into our family."
After he had been on the moor 2 days, he made friends with some wild geese and had nearly consented to fly over the sea with them, when went a gun, and the poor gosling fell dead in the water. The poor duckling was so frightened that he hid himself amongst the rushes. When all was quiet again, he came out and ran over the moor till he reached a tumble-down cottage, the door of which was ajar. He crept in and stayed there all night. A woman, a cat, and a hen lived in this cottage. The hen had such short legs that her mistress called her Chickie Short Legs. The old woman let the duckling live in her house, hoping that by and by it might lay eggs. Now the cat was the master of the house, and the hen was the mistress, and they always said,
"We and the world,"
because they thought themselves half the world at least. One day, the duckling said sadly,
"It is very dull here. How much should I like to swim in the water and to dive?"
"What a foolish idea,"
said the hen.
"You have nothing else to do. Therefore, you have strange fancies. If you could purr or lay eggs, they would pass away. Ask the cat. He is the cleverest animal I know. If he would like to dive in the water, ask our old mistress. There is no one in the world more clever than she is. Do you think she would like to let the water close over her head?" "You don't understand me,"
said the duckling.
"I think I must go into the world again."
"Very well, go," said the hen, and the duckling went. Very near the cottage, he found some water where he could swim and dive, but all creatures avoided him because he was so ugly. Therefore, he was always alone. One evening, there came a beautiful flock of birds out of the bushes. They curved their graceful necks while their soft plumage shone with dazzling whiteness. The duckling felt quite a strange sensation as he watched them fly up in the air. He stretched out his neck towards them and uttered a cry so strange that it frightened him. How he loved the white birds! How he longed to be with them! By and by, winter came and froze the water quite hard. The ice crackled round the duckling and at last shut him in so that he could not get out, and he froze fast in the ice. Early in the morning, a peasant who was passing saw what had happened, broke the ice with his axe, took up the duckling, and carried it home to his wife. The warmth revived the poor thing, and it began to fly about. The children wanted to play with it, but they only frightened him. It ran to the door, which was open, and managed to slip away among the bushes, where it lay down in the new fallen snow. It would be very sad to tell you all the ducklings suffered that cold winter, but spring came at last, and the young bird felt that his wings had grown strong. He flew away and stopped at last in a beautiful garden near a fine piece of water. On it, he saw two magnificent white birds swimming.
I will fly to those royal birds,
he thought.
They will kill me because I am ugly. But I'd rather be killed by them than pecked by ducks or beaten by hens.
So he flew to the water and swam towards the swans.
Kill me, oh, kill me,
said the poor creature as they sailed towards him, and he bowed his head meekly. But what did he see in the stream? Not a dark gray ugly duckling, but a beautiful swan. To be born in a duck's nest in a farmyard does not matter to a bird if it is hatched from a swan's egg. Yes, he too was a swan. Now he would have friends to love him, and nobody would scorn and ill-use him anymore. He rustled his feathers, curved his slender neck, and cried joyfully.
I never thought of such good was in store for me when I was an ugly duckling.
I haven't had very many morals to say this season, but I think I have one for this story. Do not judge others because of how they look. Appearances are misleading, and it is always better to accept a person for their many good qualities than accept them based on physical looks. If you enjoy great stories like this one, please click the like button and follow Tristan's Storytime on social media.